G'day everyone. Proud to say Bar Karate is brought to you by Radix Nutrition, makers of the most technically comprehensive nutrition products that have ever existed. Unlock your potential with Radix. G'day listeners. Welcome to Bar Karate, the sailing podcast. My name's Jordan Spencer and it's that time of the week where we get to hang out with some really cool sailors. But of course, I have to share the mic with my two idiot mates. So first off, let's welcome Mr. Brett Perry.
Greetings, exalted one.
BP.
The great race.
Yes.
The fever.
Yes.
I've been down to the Great Comanche this morning. Oh, it's all on down there, barged into the meeting. All good. They're all under control.
Nice. It's good to see you like on the spot as usual, mate. I thought we thought you were passed out in the park after last night, but anyway.
No, all good. Bumped into Patan and Yeti, had a good chat.
Cool.
Things are good.
Yeah, they're gonna have double navigators. Probably going to be a big thing this race. It's going to be a good thing.
I think so. We had a quick chat about it. On with the show.
Let's bring in Mr. Bice.
He had a voice that could make a wolverine purr.
Nicholas.
In the away shorts, gents, over in Victoria.
The Mexican.
Well, as you know, it was a bit on again, off again for my own personal Hobart trip. Finally ended up in the off again, which a bit disappointing, to tell you the honest truth. In saying that, it's a busy time of year, not only Christmas and, of course, the Great Race, but you'll like this, Jordan. My 10-year wedding anniversary yesterday.
Oh, congratulations.
Well done.
Happy anniversary.
Yeah, so obviously I did a bit of Googling on about the 8 p.m. on the 21st evening of what the 10-year present is. And in my favour, luckily,
It was
a bit of wood.
Aluminium or tin.
Oh,
So,
I thought you were going to say take a long drive to your in-laws.
well, that was it. Took a long drive in an aluminium Land Rover. So, happy anniversary, darling.
I honestly thought you weren't going to make the broadcast in that Land Rover for that long. That's asking the Defender. That's asking for trouble.
How's your back?
No, don't worry about me, mate.
I'm not.
Yeah, safest vessel on the streets.
Oh, dear.
Well done. Great effort, and congratulations on your 10th.
I wonder... Yeah, congrats on that, mate. It's a big achievement,
Big effort, yeah.
especially for your wife.
Absolutely, yeah. There's only one winner here.
And to all the people that were on the road from Adelaide to Melbourne behind Bicey's car getting covered in oil. Apologies.
worse than the grey heads with the caravan.
Dear. Boys,
being overtaken by grey heads with a caravan.
BP, you alluded to the Great Race. Obviously,
Yep.
we love it. We do a lot around the Great Race going to Hobart. We've spoken to one of the line honours contentious. We've spoken to the current Tattersalls Cup holder, and we've been doing live coverage of the race every year for the last couple of years, where we go in and you proved your ability to pick winners. But we've all got excited about the performance of S&S 34s. How well they've done. You know, like the SNSs are having flashes of brilliance. And so we thought, the final week in the lead-in, why don't we pick an SNS 34 for a bit of a chat? And then we realised that we got a couple of our favourites sailing on the Azzuro.
You have.
So we thought, why don't we get them in? So we've got a veritable plethora of yachties here.
We've got a panel.
We've got a panel.
The whole crew, you'd almost say.
We've got the whole crew.
Not quite.
We got a watch. We got a whole watch.
At least got a watch, exactly.
All right, so welcome. So our mates from Azzuro. So we've got Jess Watson, who was on episode 50, and fan of the show, or friend of the show as well. Our mate Xavier Doer, the boat wrecker, episode 155 and 213, and the only official person to partake in the brisket of everybody on the listener base. And we welcome the navigator, Sam Duncan, as well. So because, mate, it's the hardest job in sailing right now, being a navigator for the Hobart. Welcome to Bar Karate, everyone.
Thank you for having us.
Good to be here.
Yeah, well, it's I've got no idea how we're going to do this. Like three, I can't count to three.
I'll start. So, firstly, you, Jess, was this a bit of a dream? Why didn't you drag out the Pink Lady? How'd you end up with Azzuro? What was the chronology there?
Pretty happy to move on from pink at some point. So that might be one of the first things. No, so Pink Lady is, happily retired in the museum, and actually, because I'm a real SNS obsessed person, I actually have Credence, who's the boat they use in the movie, at home for sort of twilight sailing with me. And Azzuro, I suppose it kind of just came about as I wanted to check her out. I think there's a lot of people who are fans out there in the sailing community of this little boat. She went to a new Queensland owner, Jack, and popped in to say hi to the boat, and it kind of quickly sort of came up, the idea of a Hobart, and it's kind of one of those dumb ideas that are also just awesome ideas. I think it's just one of those,
exactly.
Yeah, it was kind of almost inevitable, right? But
did you have a really close look at the systems and sort of go, yeah, that's good, or like that, that's how I would have done it, or no, that we should change that and do it this way?
Look, it's bread and butter. Azzuro is the racing version of an SNS 34. It's a little bit different to any other SNS. A very, very cool boat.
I love it.
But yeah.
Love it.
When you're growing up as a little kid, Jess, and you've gone, thinking about this, did you realise you were going to become the SNS 34 icon? As you said, we've gone around the Pink Lady. Now you're going to Hobart in this thing, and you've got the Credence down in Victoria, I think, is where she lives. So, you're like a Star Wars collectible sort of thing. You're collecting little SNS 34s everywhere you go. What's the story?
Oh, I don't know. But, I mean, the great thing is, though, it's this Hobart, it just feels like, cool, I've finally found my people, some other people who are dumb enough to want to sail these things. And obviously Jack is enthusiastic enough and silly enough to buy one of these things. So it's pretty cool to finally find some like-minded people.
Awesome.
I think it's fair to say, though, for anyone that's walked down the dock at the CYC when Zero's part there, literally A1, I guess.
A1, yeah.
Everyone would have stopped and taken a look at that boat and gone, that is a nice looking vessel.
Yeah, she's
the work that was done to it and everything. So, yeah.
And actually, it just keeps, you can't talk to anyone in the sailing community who doesn't know and love this boat. And for Sam and I from, Sandringham and Melbourne, the boat was, launched there. And then I think everyone we know has sailed this boat at some point. So,
wow.
Yeah.
That's cool. Hey, Save, mate, you've been, we've chatted, obviously, the lap around Australia and the little, the mini, and then you've been overseas, you've been delivering IMOC at 60s, you've been doing a lot of stuff, been rebuilding the Mini. You've been busy, and now you're going on an SNS 34. Is this the only boat you think that could survive sailing with you? Is that where we're at?
Oh, yeah. Again, I fit the crazy bill, and I found my crazy thing to go and sail with, and I love sailing with them. And I'm just hoping that with these simplified systems that the boat can actually stay intact.
What about sailing with friends, mate? Is that something that's? What's the motivation for you? Is it to win? Is it sailing with a cool boat? Is it sailing with friends? What's the motivation for you?
Well, again, I was just amazed that I found 5 other people that would put up with sailing with me, and we do enjoy sailing together. But yeah, I'm dabbling in the fully crewed, but still keeping my eyes towards some of that French stuff. Yeah, just really enjoy it. I've fallen in love with the SNSs. I didn't get it. I didn't before I did this. I didn't get the SNSs. Yeah. I liked planing. It all came together once I actually got on the boat, started sailing it, and experienced the magic of the SNS. And yeah, I've just fallen in love with them, and that's why I'm so keen to go down south. I enjoy sailing with these guys. I enjoy racing the boat, and yeah, I'm just keen to go and give it a red hot crack.
Hang on, what's the magic of the SNS? So for those of us that don't know, what is the magic? Is it because of the long keel? Is it because she just keeps moving? Is it because, I don't know, like everyone's
If you look at magic as a definition, you can't describe it. It's something that's so out there. On paper, this is the dumbest thing you could possibly do. Going down to Hobart in the slowest way.
No. Going around the world.
When you get out there, when you've got this telephone pole and you put up an S2 and you look back and Sam's salivating as you put up the blooper.
The blooper, yes.
it comes together and you start loving life, and that's what it's all about.
Hey, Zabe, I saw what did you put on the socials the other day? You were trimming the blooper by the halyard.
Yes. Trimming the blooper by the halyard. So, yeah, this is one that we're all very excited about. You tack it onto the jib tack, you get it up on the jib halyard, you put this thing up. Sam goes, you've rigged it up wrong, so you re-rig it, you put it out the side, and then you get this thing, this jib-shaped spinnaker, and you start getting it licking the water, and it stabilizes the boat. Something in your veins tells you that you're doing something right, and you start sending it downwind. So I think we're all excited to get out there and use that thing.
Can't wait to see the photo.
So moving on to you, Sam.
Yep.
How'd you get raked into this? Was this after a twilight night on the Credence?
No, this was
Sandy or something, or
it was a sheepish phone call from Jess. Said, "What are you doing at Christmas time?"
Yeah, that old question. Yeah.
You thought it was lunch?
No, I thought there might have
You're
been
inviting me around for lunch.
Hint of a sale. Yeah, no, it's I said yes without really thinking about it, to be honest.
Right.
And I haven't looked back. It's been great.
Awesome.
Wow.
no? I could imagine you guys have been together now for quite a bit of time, done quite a bit of racing and training together. So that must be it's almost the coolest part of it, right?
The lead up's been great. We've been up to the Gold Coast and Brisbane training, and then we all down for the Cabbage Tree was our first race together, and really shook everything out then. And then we're back up last weekend, I think. So yeah, we've had our last sail before the race, and now we're just eagerly watching all the weather updates into Boxing Day.
Well, she's not really updating, I can tell you that much.
Oh, gosh.
So, Sam and Jess, how many phone calls back and forth on a daily basis at the moment?
Oh, the WhatsApp is going flat out. My boss hardly got anything out of me this last week at work.
Wow.
Oh, it's been a bit like that for a number of months, isn't it? I think you forget how much goes into these campaigns. It's just, that's what makes them so special. Is it's everyone, and I think that's been the awesome thing on this team is everyone's really owning their kind of part. And
doesn't matter what boat, doesn't matter what size. There's a lot that goes into this race, and it's probably a lot goes into every race, but it's particularly this one. Time of year as well makes it increasingly harder. But there's definitely a lot that goes into it.
All right.
I think a crew of 6 though. Everyone has a big chunk of that. Everyone's got their own little portfolio of jobs.
Yep.
So it's been great.
Xavier's looking after the bloopers.
As opposed to
make sure it's packed right, Xavier.
Bit complicated there, BP.
Yeah.
Pay grade.
Right. And the food, a lot of the food we've got on board is the salvage from his boat from the Southern Ocean. So.
Sam was really unimpressed when he was. We handed him up this freeze dried sausage, and he started munching away, and he looked really unimpressed when I told him that it had been salvaged. His face kind of dropped.
Freeze dried sausage.
Freeze-dried sausage is not something
you just got to dip it in the sea. Dip it in the sea for 5 minutes.
Don't tell me, Zave, that they doggy bag all the leftovers that I gave you when you left my house with the brisket. That's not there either.
Well, they didn't, but I feel kind of ripped off because we've got this whole Radix nutrition thing going on board, and BP didn't offer me the Bicey's brisket flavored freeze-dried.
That could be the Barkarati Bicey brisket.
Barkarati Bicey's brisket by Radix.
Right, that's it. Mike, if you're listening, I'm coming over. We're sorting this shit out.
Yep, absolutely.
And to be clear, the brisket was fantastic. So any listeners out there, you can't put it past Bicey. He picked me up. He took me for a sunset cruise of the
romantic
coast.
How romantic.
Had the brisket going, and it was good.
Nice. All right.
So if you're ever sailing south of Adelaide, and just feel free to pop in.
Yeah, if you break down. Yeah, Adelaide. All right, let's do Sam. So come back to you, my friend. You've taken the navigator role. We've made some jokes about it. The weather system. We'll talk about the weather, but I want to try and lead it into what your goals are for the boat, for the team. So it's a really difficult weather forecast at the moment for the Hobart, like extremely difficult. I've got zero idea, but it could actually favour you. There's a chance it could favour the smaller boats.
There's a chance. I think everyone in every division's a bit excited about this race because there's a bit in it for everybody at the moment. This morning's routes, I just was having a look about an hour ago. I think starting to align a little bit more. The models are a lot closer today. A lot slower on the access models for us. So scarily, one of them was saying New Year's Eve into Tasman. So that's that one. We're discarding that one as the outlier, and we're just focusing on the 30th.
Pack some more sausage, safe.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah,
it's been an interesting learning curve. I was talking to a mate of mine this morning, and we've been going backwards and forwards every day just about the weather. And Mitch said to me, so after 3 weeks of looking, you've decided to go south and stay in the current. That's pretty much.
That's exactly what you would do if I was navigating. Like
4,200 WhatsApps later.
Yeah, that's
heading
right.
south, starting the current.
As I said, I did bump into the guys on Comanche this morning, and apparently they've routed 50 to 55 hours.
Yeah,
wow.
Themselves.
What's happening? Go south, stay in the current.
Yeah, that's everything.
Can't wait till we get in February 2024.
Oh, it's a leap year too, right? It should be right.
Yeah, that's it. You're getting in 25.
The important thing though is that it's light at the start. We think like there's this. For the listeners, we're going to do a live update. One of our live updates, and we'll pull some weather stuff up so you can see. But likely there's a low going to sit over that sort of New South Wales, the middle of New South Wales. There's a couple of highs, and sort of there's a little bit of compression between the high and the lows, sort of Bass Straitish area. But that means that there's, you could be right between two wind zones at the start. And you could be sitting there. There is a lot of current moving out offshore at the moment. It looks like you'll be sticking to the coast, is my gut feel. But
yeah,
it looks like you could be there for a long time, because if you don't get down quick enough, there's another dirty, great big high cell just going to plonk over Tasmania, and I think you could be there, as Dave said, till Feb.
If it's about this timing of the low, exactly what you said. It's moving, depending which forecast you're looking at and which day. It's either going to be 55 knots from the west, or it's going to be 5 knots in Bass Strait at the moment. So we'll take what we get, and that's all we can do, and try and beat up on the boats around us. But just first goal is to finish. I think that's first one's to make the start line. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
And then second one is to get to Hobart, and then as well as we can place in our division, that's our goal. We'll stop looking at everyone else, because it's a different race.
Okay.
Div 4's its own baby.
So Sam says, as well as you can place in the division, I want from the other two what your goals are. Let's just see, because that's just nice and diplomatic, and we don't accept that on Barkarati.
No.
So, like BP when the last race he did wanted to win, and it included just not doing port. Just port had right of way over.
It's just as simple as giving way.
Yeah.
Sorry, bud. Sorry, you're never going to live it down. One goat. That's all I'll say, bud.
No, Jess. So when you assembled the team, got the team together, did you have some goals in mind at that point, or as you've seen things progress, those goals have become loftier?
I suppose the initial conversations with Jack, who's skipper and owner, were a case of, we're sailing with one of his best mates, Steve, who's bow, and then it was a bit of a case of, and obviously Xav came up quickly. I always wanted to make sure I was doing it with, one of my best mates too, Sam, navigator, and then we sort of had this final crew spot and got Annie Eastgate, who turns out is an absolute legend. I mean, came highly recommended from Stacey Jackson, so I think we knew. Could have always known, but I think we're just downright lucky that she's just an all-round legend. So it was a case of kind of looking at what we needed and what skill sets, but also most importantly that we all got along, which is really important on a little boat. And I think it's just such a case of needing to do this boat justice, right? I mean, you just can't talk to a single person without them saying no pressure, but this boat does well. Even the old owner Shane, it's just, you just want to do it justice. So I think we all feel a little bit of pressure and want to live up to it there. But no, I'm diplomatic, and I'm getting more competitive in life, but I'm still not very competitive. I'm more of a give way to every way on the roundabout type person. But I think we're all wanting to do the boat justice, and it is true though. All we can do is try and do as well as possible in our division, and the rest is just a bit of a game of luck to some extent.
Oh, come on, Zave, going for the win.
Come on, Zave.
Well, I'm gonna take exactly what they said and say we're looking for the divisional win, but you can read that as if we're doing a divisional win, that's the best we can possibly do. You have to then go up to the weather gods and say, was this our race? We also need to do Shane proud with his little boat too. It was we had a bit of a moment on the dock with him. We had a crew breakfast with Shane, and it was a bit emotional to kind of take over his little baby and his project, and you could see in his eyes that he wanted that win so goddamn badly. So we just want to go out and sail the boat as well as we possibly can, and I think everyone that's running the boat is pushing it to that limit. We're trying our best.
There has been a lot of S&S winners over the years, so it's definitely doable. We know that for a fact. And you're right about the weather. The things have to go in your favour on a boat like this, but it can happen. And these sort of conditions, I mean, anything can happen, can't it? So when you're looking at this, it's just a lottery the whole way. You could sail in pressure the whole way down.
Well,
we could.
So I'll give you a comparative. So Jack, I think he'd bought the boat by the Brisbane to Gladstone. He had it at the start of the year, didn't he? So he was in the Brisbane to Gladstone, and the Brisbane to Gladstone is always reaching downwind, windy. You reach on starboard all the way to the top of Fraser, jibe, and into Gladstone. But once every 20 years, you've got to suffer. And this year, the 75th running was upwind. It took forever. It was slow. And that boat, I think the Azzuro, she come third on IRC and won ORC. It's it's
doable.
It's this boat's and it's specially light, and it's carbon at the end. The Azzuro, isn't it? It's all
and I don't know if I can be bold in saying this, but I think we're one of the tougher ones out there, boat and crew. I mean, I'm going to make that call. I think we can out-puff a lot of the fleet. So
now the competitors stand up and listen.
Boxing Day morning.
They were fobbing it off before they were going, those guys,
Yeah.
And I mean, it's not as though we are a betting show, but I've just had a look at the odds, and you're coming in at $51 on IRC.
I'd whack
not
a couple
bad.
on that.
Yeah,
I've been around to my mates on that. Said get on it.
Not as though we condone gambling and don't
in
go
any
over
way.
the top, gamble responsibly.
What can you do with that money?
And we'll talk more about that later. But tell us now the final run-in. When you're all flying up there, down there, are you there? Where's the boat? Is it at the CYC? All of the above.
Yeah, but boats at the CYC. I think half the crew's there at the moment, and trickling in over the next day or two. And then
half the crew's on Barkarati.
Yeah. I'm the last one there on doing the flight up from Melbourne on Christmas afternoon.
Yeah, Sam's got a bit going on because a bit of a Barkarati announcement moment. He's freshly engaged as of the last 24 hours. So
12 hours ago, yep.
Wow.
Got a bit going on. So big congratulations to him and Amy.
Well done, Sam. Congratulations.
And our condolences, Amy.
Darling, would you marry me? Do you mind if I do the Hobart?
There was a little bit of that. It was a birthday last weekend when we were up for the training weekend as well. So I really had to get one in.
At least just setting the standard, mate.
Global announcements. This is
Jess,
fantastic.
Just love it.
Well done.
Setting the standards there, but at least she knows what she's in for now. There's no hiding it,
I'm got engaged to a sailor. She knows what it's all about.
Oh,
brother and dad are both sailors, so they're all excited.
And it's her fault for having a birthday right this time of year anyway. So it's completely.
Yeah, that's right.
And where are you, Zave? You're in your garage, mate. What's the
story? Oh yeah, well, there's a hydro generator behind me at code 0. This is my bedroom, which is just filled with jerry cans and bits of mini. There's broken bits of mini everywhere.
Hey, for the listeners, obviously with the Hobart, when we start, there's multiple lines. Obviously, the camera goes to the front and the big boats and all the shiny stuff. It's hard to get some coverage for you guys. So if there's live spectators, and there'll be a heap of people listening that will be out there live on the water. So the Azzuro is painted blue. What line are you guys coming off? And it's got the black sails as well, so.
Yeah, it hasn't officially been posted yet, but I'd be very surprised if we're not on line 4 at the back.
Line 4, yep.
Yeah, and you're going to see us. So we're a beautiful little blue boat, but we've also got lovely Netflix logos all over the the boat and some other wonderful
Dinosaur
supporters. Zach, of course. And,
pretty sure there will be a little bit of a pan across to you guys. You know, it's not like there's no one on board we need to know about.
We got some accidental coverage last weekend at the 18-footers.
I
accident.
I have to go back and look what happened. I normally.
Don't.
I can tell you.
It was a good practice run.
Go, Sam.
It was a peel change through the start line.
A bad peel change.
Was that you guys?
No, go the next level. It was a blooper peel change through the start line.
I love it.
Yeah, it was a bit of practice for Boxing Day, a bit of mayhem, but we debriefed it. Moved on.
How about in race media? Are you doing any social stuff? Have you got Starlink set up? What's the program there? Xavier, you like the face? You're going to be just putting it, got the selfie stick out the whole way down?
I have no idea what you're talking about, Bicey. We've got one on board, but it's gonna be we're trying to get some good results here. I think we're gonna be more head in the game. More I don't have 24 hours a day to be poking around and not doing anything.
Yeah, because you're racing.
That's bullshit, mate. You'll be doing something for sure.
Okay. From a racing perspective, what about let's just focus in on your division. So how many other SNSs have you got to race against, and what other boats are you going up against, and what are the boats that you're looking at in your division?
Well, I don't believe there's any other SNSs this year. Crux is not racing.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say I think there's 10 or 12 in our division, and I think probably a couple of little Sunfasts, given the most recent forecast, they're going to be hard to touch up if there's a bit of reaching involved.
Yep.
We've got only one boat that we have to give time to. So as long as we keep moving and stay in touch with everybody, I think we give them a good run.
What's the boat you got to give time to?
Oh, I've forgotten now.
Is it
the ladies?
Yeah, the ladies. They got ahead of us in the cabbage tree at one point.
Yeah. What's their names again? Jeez.
I thought it was going to be the Maluka, but it's not.
No, Maluka's not racing either.
Oh, wow.
Jeez. Brain fart.
That's all right. It'll come to you. Well, while we're talking, if there you do get some power reaching, have you guys put a surfboard in the boat just so you can just step off on that wake of that water you're going to tow behind you with?
I'm glad somebody else has noticed that. We had a moment on the harbour last weekend, and I was just sitting there taking photos of the wash we were
just dragging down with you.
That boat with
digging
the
a
hole
hole
in the water.
Brings a whole new meaning to sort of get light as possible. So what you do is you actually take your surfboards when it is like that, and you can jump off the back and get a couple of people to surf the way down. The boat's lighter, you'll go faster.
It's pretty cool. I think it's these old boats. I think it's a few of us who hadn't had kite poles up in a long time, and I think it's a bit of a step back in time. And there's not a lot of the fleet. Sure. Like this anymore. So it's pretty cool.
Actually, just on that, if you're jibing on that thing, are you end for ending or you dip poling? How are you doing it? And for the youngsters listening, that's what you do with the spinnaker pole, those things.
We've had to work it out too. Working it out.
Is that right?
The old have your brace in your arm and your finger pointing up as to which way to put it in,
That's exactly right. Yep. You've been through Bow 101.
Yep. Put your left knee down and hold the pole on your shoulder.
Yep. Yeah. That's dip poles, 3 on deck.
Sam's been having a lot of fun showing us how it's done. He's had his time on the bow, so he's been giving us all the rundown.
Very good.
Yeah, and what for all the youngsters listening out there, what we all call a code zero is basically what your head still looks like in the old days. Your Genoa, like you got a 150% Genoa. Is that what you're running?
Yeah, 143.
143.
It's the big girl.
It's fantastic, isn't it? And you'll be using a lot of it actually. So, what sort of sails are you carrying? So for the listeners, like a little 34-footer, like you got. What's your inventory?
Sails galore.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Because
Should we list them off?
Yeah. That's what we
we've got a drifter, we've got a blooper, we've got a code 0, we've got an S321. We've mixed the 1 and 2 Genoa to become a light medium. We've got a 3, we've got a 4, we've got a mainsail. We're using Tyreply, which is Dimension Polyant's new material, this ultra lightweight stuff, which is awesome. And yeah, we've got. Have I missed anything, guys?
Yeah, you missed the Spinnaker Staysail, Genoa Staysail.
Oh, there we go.
Got everything.
Hey,
The Fro,
if you
the
want,
Joe, the Mo.
if you want, we've got a barge you can tow along with you that you can put some sails in if wait.
Just when you went around the world, did you take as much gear as that? Did you take those sails?
No, I was keeping it pretty simple. I actually didn't even have a kite at a 0, but honestly, I hardly put that up either. It was it was a slightly different program. It was I'd put my third reef in, with my socks on, without leaving the cockpit. I'm not kidding here. I'm quite serious. And furl away the headsail and leave the storm jib up. In I never got on the foredeck in over 25 knots of wind. So it's a slightly different program. But
that's how you do it.
Yeah, it was the way to go.
There's no joke. I'm always thinking about cruising and convincing my wife that we're going to go sailing, and one of the rules is that she never has to go out of the cockpit and up on the foredeck. It's just I don't want her risking her life. So everything's got to furl or go away. So no one's judging that. That's smart.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean it. And plus, you're out there peaceful, enjoying the ocean longer than everyone else. So there you go. And that's what we love. So
exactly, we'll have plenty of that in this Hobart. Hey, that's what we're going to tell ourselves on day 5. We're missing the fun.
There's no day 5, Jess.
So the S&S show is going nicely. How about the other boats? You've been on the harbour out there. What kind of takes your eye?
Yeah.
Has there been someone out there or something that impresses you more than anything else?
Well, I think we've got our favourites. We've got friends all over the fleet, top and bottom of the fleet. And I don't know, it depends on we've got, a few good mates from Melbourne on No Limit. And I think talking to Barney on Thursday night, and he's got a bit of a chance for those guys. I think they need
bit of a Barney smile, has he? He's got a bit of we were gonna make a action figure of Barney, actually, weren't we, years ago, in a tracksuit pants and his tracksuit top and a cigarette hanging out his mouth. Maybe we need to add the Barney smile to him.
Oh yeah, the Barney chuckle.
The No Limit has been putting a bit of work in getting that thing tuned up. They've pulled the weight out of it. They've done quite a bit on that thing. I think they're feeling
smart upgrades.
Yeah, they're feeling pretty confident. I think they got Kempy navigating. So do you feel like you can take on the great Steve Kemp there, Sam?
I'll do my best. Yeah.
Boat looks absolutely beautiful. Actually, we were there, had a look at it the other day. They've done a fantastic job.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, you can't go past a single boat on the harbour without someone yelling out, "Hey, Zave, this guy and his friends."
Oh, Jess, are you sailing with Xavier?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, totally. It's awesome. I love this. I'm pretty sick of myself at this point. But him and his mates.
I love it.
How about you, Zave? You must have a bit of a soft spot for Warro on the Wild thing.
I was holding my tongue there. The whole time I was rebuilding my boat, Warro gave me all the offcuts from the 100 to rebuild my boat. And it really puts into perspective anything you've got going on. I go, I've got such a big job here. And then I walk in and Warro and Theo are head to toe covered in black dust building a 100-footer in about 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So you've got a 30-foot mini now, have you?
I've actually extended it to 40 foot, given the 20-foot rule. That's what we do at GC.
Using the same master, though.
Yeah, same master.
Yeah, no, I don't know if you guys follow F1, but Braun GP, that's Wild Thing for me. I think Wild Thing is Braun GP, and I'd really like to see them go well. I think, I sail with them. They're awesome guys, and they've got the tenacity to go. And
Wild Thing actually came up in a chat last night at the Palace, boys, and you know how we talked about the shitter rule with the mast hanging over the bow?
Yep.
Yeah.
There was a new formula. There was a new formula that came up last night, and it's not the total length of the mast. Because it goes down, it's keel stepped.
It doesn't meet the shitter rule. It doesn't.
Yep. I think we've got a bit of bit going on there, Bicey.
And
I
an
noticed all
amendment.
the photos, and I've seen her at just the right angle. There's nothing complete side on. How about you, Jess? What do you got? Any home favourites? You'd have lots of mates out there as well.
Yeah, exactly. You know, the funny thing is though, this is the boat that I normally follow. So this is the boat that I'm normally glued on the tracker. So
You're allowed to say it, Jess. Myself. You're allowed to say it.
all right, let's go with that.
I love it.
No other S&S 34s this year. So yeah. No, I mean genuinely this is the boat that I've always sort of fangirled. So it's it's pretty cool to be doing it.
Yeah, for sure.
I will say, I mean, having the East Coast at the moment, the marine life is pretty abundant out off the waters of the East Coast at the moment. There's everything out there right now, like everything. There's whales, there's sharks, there's turtles, there's the sunfish. You know, you're doing the cabbage?
Fine.
Did you see it?
We're fine. I don't know if you've noticed, but S&S 34s they can bounce off ships, so we'll be fine.
Not to mention what they can do under the waterline. Absolutely.
Well, I mean, the orcas see the S&S and they go, "Oh, it's just one of us. Let her go."
Oh yeah.
Why are you swimming upside down?
That's a good one, BP. No, it's interesting. I guess, you guys will probably be okay. But when you were doing the cabbage, did you see much of that? Like, are you seeing the same sort of things?
A lot of dolphins.
A lot of dolphins, yeah.
Yeah, nothing else exotic, but just a lot of dolphins.
Too much rain, so you couldn't see too far around you, I'm guessing, as well.
We avoided all the rain in that race, actually. We were too far offshore. Yeah, we stayed dry.
Thanks, Navigator.
There you go.
Yeah.
Good, you'll focus on something. No, I mean it's a great point, right? It's the numbers are just absolutely growing, and I think a lot of the fleet it is kind of scary up and down the East Coast. But thankfully not so much for ourselves.
Yeah, no, I mean, we had sea snakes this morning. I was out there having a paddle around, and it was bloody sea snakes came at us. And I thought, Jesus, this is getting a bit busy now. I mean, everyone's up on the Sunshine Coast for holidays. I used to, just for a bit of banter, I used to wonder, you know, Adelaide, you'd be driving to work near Christmas and no one was there, and I wonder where everyone went. They're all up on the Sunshine Coast. I literally cannot get out of my house. It's just so busy. So just, if you're wanting to come up, it's full. Don't come.
Don't go to Jordan's house.
They're all your fans, mate.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They are all your fans. That's what I was thinking.
One thing we should mention, just on all the sponsors on the side of the boat. Obviously, Netflix. I think the movie's still on there. Jess, True Spirit.
We're talking. Can't escape it. No, it's fantastic that Netflix is supporting Australian sailing. Actually,
it's fantastic. But the other one that's on there is the Stroke Foundation, and obviously you had a wonderful relationship with your boy Cam, who passed with a stroke, and so you're trying to do something positive about that. So is there anything that anyone that feels strongly about that, what is the Stroke Foundation doing and how can people help?
Yeah, so it's obviously a real close one for, I think, all of us increasingly, which is just awesome. And obviously, Cam was one of Sam's best mates. That's how we got to know each other. Over many, many years. But yeah, I mean, Cam was 29 and an active 29-year-old. So I think that's one of the first things about strokes is I think we immediately kind of think it's something that impacts older people. It's not. There's something like 30% of younger people actually are those impacted by strokes. And actually Cam's stroke was the result of incredibly high undiagnosed blood pressure. So real simple check. Great thing to sort of remember to have that real simple check. And yeah, I mean, I think it's just a wake-up call. For some reason, strokes haven't really had a lot of attention, but there's someone being impacted every 19 minutes in Australia, and a lot of those are a lot younger than we maybe imagine.
So the message there, just go to your doctor, get your blood pressure checked. I get my blood work done every 6 months. Just, I've lived a hard life, got to find out. So.
Well, with the blood nut, it kind of goes hand in hand.
So how do just
works extra hard, yours.
Just delving into that a bit further. How do people help? You've got your website and they can support the foundation.
Yeah, yes, please. So they're doing awesome work, obviously, in the research, but also sort of supporting survivors. So yeah, jump on the socials. Obviously, Stroke Foundation is going to come up with a few quick Googles, but yeah, if you jump on our pages, the direct sort of donation links there as well, and really, really appreciate it. I think it's
There you go.
Awesome thing to be, I think, yeah, talking about and obviously really sort of doing it for Cam as well. So it's just awesome.
It's like everything, isn't it? Just creating awareness and support for the foundation. So Stroke Foundation, get on it.
All right, cool. Okay, so we've done the Hobart. We're cruising down. It takes you till New Year's Eve. What's the plans like? Are you guys all
2024?
No.
No. Sorry, Dave. Sorry, bud. This is the decision you made, and you have to wear the consequences, all right?
Yeah.
I wanted a bigger boat.
No, you're where you are. Deal with it.
Look, no, well, I mean, as Sam, you said, like we're going into Bass Strait, it could be 5 knots or it could be 50 knots at the moment. No one actually has a clue. When you are heading down into Hobart, if the pressure's on, right? So say you're in touch, you come around the bottom and you're in touch. Are you going to really fight for it? Is that the gist of it? That's what you guys want? Look, Jess is just nodding vigorously. She wants it.
Definitely. Usually it's, everyone up at Tasman, but I don't, that's still 40 miles for us. So it could be a bit far. Maybe everyone up at Iron Pot, but
yeah.
It's definitely, we're going to be fighting the whole way down. I think no part of this is a cruise for us. It's definitely racing it flat out.
Do you reckon you'll be sick of sail changes by that stage?
It's surprisingly not. I think
We've lost him.
Yeah.
No, look, this is a guy who does not get sick of sail changes. Sam is known for his favourite part of sailing is the rig and de-rig. So he's a bit of an odd one, but this is definitely a guy who does not get sick of sail changes. The rest of us, we may be, but
he's so enthusiastic that he makes you excited about changing a sail.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you want to. When Sam calls a change or a jibe, you want to.
I love it. I love it. It's going to be busy for you guys. There's no question about it. What about the post-race? Are you guys sailing her all back, or are you just on a plane and some of the hero worship, someone's going to try and jump on board and take it that way, or what?
Yeah, I think we're all got a few days celebrating in Hobart and resting planned. Believe it or not, a lot of us have got sensible day jobs, and this is our week off for the year.
Yep.
So a little bit of celebrating in Hobart, and should be sailing back. But actually, we got a new race boat to play with back in Melbourne, so excited about that. And I think all going our different ways for now.
Is this
an S&S40?
No, Meld is 40, so we turned the Cape 31 into a 40.
Yeah, wow. I love it.
Yeah, a bit of a different tone to an S&S 34, actually. So different worlds apart.
Very different. Very cool. All right. If we're sort of coming to the end of what we were planning to do, so if the race goes well, are you going to do a dedication to us on stage when you win your trophy? Is that part of the plan?
Oh, reverse curse.
Yeah.
See what we can do. Look, I'm not guaranteeing that I haven't had a few rums and at that point and can remember to talk straight. So
just thank the reverse curse. That's all you have to do. Just thank all the crew, the reverse curse. That's all you have to do, and everyone will know. I think it'd be good.
And just a little gesture on the top of the podium, Zave.
Well, yeah.
Bit of bar karate. Yeah. Yeah. So Sam, with your work, mate, coming into the race, obviously super busy with things going on. What are you expecting on that weather? Are you expecting it to resolve in the next day or two, or you think it's just we're not gonna have a clue until even when we start?
No, I think it is starting to come together. Literally, this morning's one was the first one where we've had a little bit of consistency between a couple of models. And even, like I said, Axis was looking a bit slower, but the directions and the route was still in line, So I think For us, the biggest one, probably being a bit serious here, but it is the current. It is the current. We where we go through Bass. I mean, not the New South Wales coast is fairly, I think, locked down in our general plan, but through Bass Strait, that's where all the big changes is for us.
Yeah.
So we've been tracking eddies and figuring out which side of what we want to go and take what we get through there.
Yeah. I think you're onto that. I reckon you're right onto it with that. That's exactly what we want to do. The other thing I think we probably need to mention for the punters that are out there on the water, remember when these guys are coming through, you just don't slow them up. Don't put the wake in the way, they don't want to be bashing while you chase all the maxis and leave shitty water behind. So just nice and considerate, thanks.
Yes, please. We need to be the ones throwing up the wash. So.
That's right.
Just dragging the whole of Sydney Harbour along with you.
I think we're sitting
leave some water there for us, you reckon?
Sydney Harbour will be empty.
We're sitting on the rail and we noted that the bow was like Moses parting the Red Sea.
One thing it's a possibility, and I'm trying to remember the last time we saw it, there is actually a possibility of a drifter at the start.
Oh, yeah, I'm just having a look now.
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
Softish.
You could be between a few wind lines. And I can't remember the last time there actually has been a drifter for the start of the Hobart. And that would be unbelievable for the TV. Like the TV commentators would just not know what to do with themselves. They'll be it'll be awkward.
Yeah.
It will be because the funniest part about it is the small boats will be with the big boats and it'll be mayhem.
Yeah, some of those little boats will just keep going. Yeah. Oh, dear. Anyway.
Yeah, all those heading double-handers.
Oh, the double-hander, not tacking. What about that? Are you guys any interest? So from the three of you, I know, I'm certain I know what Zave's going to say, but what about doing the race double-handed?
I think for me personally, yes, but it's haven't found someone, with the funds or the sponsored connections, I suppose, to get a program together. It's easy just, as a part of a crew at the moment, but not opposed to it. Yeah.
It's a good division. And, the only issue for the double-handers, I would suggest, is that this race is going to be tough because they're going to be out there for a long time and they're going to get real tired. So it's going to be very, very tough for the double-handers.
Yeah,
definitely. Oh, sorry, what? Yeah.
Sorry. Okay.
Go on. Somebody speak.
Someone say something.
The guys on Mistral.
Over the top of each other.
Rupert and Jack on Mistral did a bloody good job in the cabbage tree, and I think they're not in our division, but I think they're going to be in Div 3, but they're going to, they want to look out.
That's a Mark Lombard 34 custom. It's a very cool boat. It's actually very, very well suited to this race. She's a good all-round vessel, that one.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, well, the ultimate double-hand, especially if you live down in Victoria, is you could Melbourne to Osaka, and you've got a Melges 40, you could just smoke up to Osaka on that thing.
Yeah,
I think we might need a few more.
There's no wet weather gear in the world that would deal with that, despite everyone's relationship with their various suppliers.
No, as an ex-solo sailor, there's nothing better than the crew. I don't know why you wouldn't want more sleep, but also more company, more mates. It's just, honestly, there's something so special about the friendships created through a sailing boat. It's just awesome, right? we're going to want to kill each other at moments along the way, but that's part of it. It's just epic. People don't understand. Yeah.
What's a bit of love between crew, eh?
Yeah. Yeah. So sticking to the full crew.
Love it.
We're a bit of a softie now, Otto. It's generally followed by some tears and a hug and
Yeah.
Very cool. All right, kids.
Very good.
I think we might leave it there for you.
Speaking of tears and a hug, it's probably time to shut it down. Give you best wishes for the actual race itself.
And absolutely.
We'll be keeping a close eye on things.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, good one. Good luck. Have fun.
All right.
And thank you very much.
The great race, gents.
The great race.
Keith Flint. You'd all remember Keith Flint.
Yep, absolutely
guys.
do.
So when I
yes.
did my apprenticeship as a young fella, he always said to me, the best ever boat to go to sea in is an S&S 34. So regardless of the conditions, they're going to have a good time. 6 people on board. Didn't ask them if they have a guitar on board. But
Yes.
given Xavier's comment about the selfie stick, there won't be much time for that anyway. And, they'll be moving, got to move those 13 different sails around and all those different things. So good luck to them. And we'll be keeping a close eye on them.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was just a no-brainer to sort of go to the other end of the fleet. We want to try and cover the whole fleet. The other thing we did try and do for the listeners is there's obviously the Melbourne to Hobart and the Launceston to Hobart, and we did reach out for some people to try and give that some coverage. Haven't heard back yet, so they're all obviously busy. So we haven't forgotten those races, and I'll come back to them in a minute. But one thing that did jump out, obviously, is that they've loaded the boat up with the Radix. BP, you mentioned that you were down at the Comanche dropping off a whole bunch of Radix. So the fleet is jumping on board because I guess having a healthy, balanced diet begins with what you put into your body. So their food, or Radix's food, is carefully designed nutritional profiles and great taste. It brings you the best of both worlds with the ease of preparation to tie it all together. So taste and ease of preparation, which is exactly what you're looking for in the race. So if you are interested in jumping on board to Radix and grabbing some gear, just go to the website. And remember, if you type Bar Karate into the discount code, you will get a discount on us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Cool.
Bar Karate.
The other thing outside the race, boys, obviously, as I said, Melbourne to Hobart. What's the story there? So Melbourne to Hobart, that starts, and then that starts on the 27th. That's a 1 p.m. start. That's off Portsea Pier. So if you're wanting to go down and watch that, they go around the west coast of Tassie. That's important to understand with that one. So Melbourne to Hobart, the west coaster is as it's known, and then the Launceston to Hobart, that also starts 27th of December from Launceston, 11 a.m. start. So if you're looking to go down and watch that, 285 miles around the north and the east coast. So they'll be going around the east coast.
Yes, you do a lot for a scallop pie, don't you?
You do a lot.
They sail from nations around. There should be an Adelaide to Hobart.
I reckon
should be everything to Hobart.
Well,
I hope they've got enough scallop pies for everyone.
There's nearly a Perth to Hobart this year with the Clipper. They're going to go through there as well.
Yeah, exactly. It's everyone to Hobart.
It's going to be busy in that corner, isn't it?
It's going to be very busy
corner, especially with this weather forecast.
Some fish won't know what to do. They'll be like just.
I reckon they're calling in the extras.
I love it.
Calling the orcas.
The orcas.
The other thing that I think is important to understand is that there's an awful lot of nationals. It's this time of year in Australia, all the nationals and a lot of world champs are kicking off. We got a message from Mark Bolker, who was episode 160 from memory, just reminding us that the Contender national champs start off in Paynesville, 14th to 18th of Jan. There's probably about 50 to 60 boats expected, and there's some spare boats around if somebody's interested and taking off. Really strong fleet. A lot of talented sailors going to be there. Some great sponsorship as well from Ronstern and Irwin Sails, and I think I'm just trying to find their sponsors. I'm just going off the list, and Contender Sailcloth. There you go. There you go, Mark. Give you a free plug. But if you're interested in that, we'll follow up on that one a bit. The Hobie Nationals are at RQ. That splits up. They do sort of... With Hobie, they do like all the different. I'm just trying to remember how it breaks down. There it is. It's so 28th to 31st. Hobie 16 Open, Masters, Grandmasters, Hobie 17 to 18s and 14s, and then from 2nd January on to the 5th of January, it's the women's and youth and Hobie 14 Open, women and youth. And Masters and blah, blah, blah. So there's a bit on at RQ.
Maybe, well, there's a bit on obviously all across the nation, right? With everything.
Yep.
Well, I mean,
maybe what we could do is dedicate this is thinking out loud here.
Yeah.
Dedicate next week talking about all the different nationals. Yep. But more importantly, will you be coming to us live from Perth, BP?
Well. It's all fallen apart, unfortunately. Yes. No, I was going to bring it up. There is the Worlds for the Windsurfer Worlds on 29th to the 4th. My plan was to get there, but there's a few things that happened here in Sydney, and unfortunately, time wasn't one of them. So yeah, bar karate. We put out so much energy to everyone else, we forget about ourselves. Unfortunately.
Well, whilst we're talking about the Wally Worlds, they did have the windsurfer. They had the West Australian Open on the weekend. So, sail out of South Perth. So Sarah Kenny, one of our favourites, obviously one of my huge favourites. She is right there. She came out on top in the Open. Tina Harrison was not far behind. Bunch of young racers from Western Australia doing really quite well, including Izzy Barden and Jaya Marnes Morris. The Morris name popping up. In the lights, there was a whole bunch there. So Tim Gourlay, Josh Baker, Lockie Putt, Jay Wild probably in there. Dave Tonkin, boys, is the standout in the mediums in the build-up. In front of the old Davey Devola, Bionic Man, Dolly Devola, who is a massive fan of the show and a great coach, and he's definitely there. How's that? The old boys in the mediums.
That's good.
Then they got Sam Balaya coming through. Timmy Lelliot as well, who's another South Australian boy. Lars Klapich might be coming out of retirement, and then Matt and Paul Ivchenko. Then they got the heavies.
His name was on the list. Lars's name was on the list. Another one to be watching there. Joe Mitten's making a go.
Oh.
She's having a crack at it. She's going over.
Yeah,
I
she
think
does
there's
well.
going to be a big sigh of relief, though, for everyone knowing that I'm not going to be there because my last training session in 1996 went really well.
That's fair. You did the full rail ride splits mast in the mast base. Upside down.
What else? I guess there's a couple of other legends. So in the heavies, Stewie Gilbert's coming out of retirement. Scotty McKirch is sticking up for the super heavies. So, and there's lots and lots. So Nick Bez has got long COVID, boys. So he may may not be a threat. Just thought I'd mention that one while we're touching about. The other one that I do think we need to just remind everyone, we put it up on Facebook, the Battle of the Bar, which is the race where they're doing the race, Rosebud Yacht Club and Rye Yacht Club. It's on our Facebook. I won't bore you with it, but 12K lap if you're in a monohull and 24K. So they're waiting for perfect conditions so you can just blast reach for 12Ks or 24Ks. So it's
and windsurfers, whatever you want.
Whatever you want. Come in
basically.
Anything. Dig a rainbow out of the tip and you're off and away. Cool. So plenty on. There's a shit ton on. Can I say that?
Absolutely.
Yeah, righto.
100%.
Jack Lloyd, Listener of the Week. Remember, if you do win the Listener of the Month, our friends at Vicobi will pass on a couple of $100 voucher to you. Any noms from you boys?
Oh, I like what you've got here, mate, to be honest. There has been a late player.
Goes without saying. I think the latest one, I've put him up for Listener of the Year, to tell you the honest truth.
Well, shall I go through the ones on the list? And
Dominic Kime, however you pronounce that, Kime.
We'll come back
to the list first.
Do the list first. We'll come back to this one because it's a cracker.
I'm just trying to find it. So first off, Sail GP ideas from Robbie. So what Robbie wrote in, this is Robbie Colosino. He wrote in some ideas on trying to put the pressure into the racing and Sail GP. So the current winner of the initial 5 races gets limited benefit for those wins. Sometimes that leads them to mail a few races in once they're assured of being in the final 6 race. To keep an incentive to race as hard as possible through all 5 races, there should be an automatic weekend win for 5 bullets in the first 5 races. The second and third boats will still go into a race, into a 6th race, but that just becomes a true match race and they'll be fighting off for second and creates a bit more intrigue in that race. So if you saw France haul in 5 wins and then Ainsley and Slings in a big match race, that would be pretty awesome. Alternate solution, 5 bullets may be close to impossible to accomplish, so maybe there could be a point level reflecting like 4 wins in a second. Just a point level that reflects dominating the 5 races. They work the same. So it's just an idea. It's cool. He calls himself the drunking. But Robbie, mate, that's a good one. I didn't mind that, actually. So go all out for all 5 wins. What do you think, boys?
Yeah, absolutely. It's, well, reality is I doubt anyone's sandbagging.
No.
Is my opinion.
Yep.
But I like
Smoke Fever. It's well and truly alive.
Yeah. It's a good one. It's a good one. Another one. This is just genius. Timmy Beaver had sent something through. We made jokes about the Crocs. Remember last week our big discussion about the Crocs?
Yep.
Tim Beaver came through. Boys, love the chat with Tony this week, and it got me thinking about the Croc, Barkarati Croc merch. I have found a website that does custom charms for Crocs. Barkarati Croc charms would be a quality addition to the merch, and even better as part of the official uniform for the next live show. That's just brilliant.
Yes.
That
can go with our Vycobi tracksuits.
Vycobi tracksuits, Crocs with Barkarati charms.
Barkarati.
And
Barkarati Crocs with sealskin socks.
which might lead us onto our next one.
Yes.
Which is from Zhao Tommy, which, speaking of, this is talking about some merch as well, is about the hat.
Oh, yeah?
Making sailing great again. And he has definitely said you have to make it red. So just a little shout out to Zhao on that one, because that was a good idea. I like it. But maybe not red. But we like the slogan.
Well, we've had another one, a latecomer here, talking about the statue of slingers.
Yeah, I love it. And I've done a bit of research on this.
I like what he's done here. The picture is fantastic. I know it's a podcast, but you got Tom Slingsby there sitting on the rock at Middlehead in the thinking pose.
In the thinking pose. It's all right. This could almost be done in Rome, to tell you the honest truth.
Oh, it's definitely
but
worth
basically,
it.
Sitting on the beach, on the rocks, he's thinking about what he wants to do in the future. Tennis racket thrown aside, and he's made a list of his goals and it's pinned it to the rocks.
Yep.
And this could serve as his achievements. And I've done a bit of research. Boys.
If we just have a quick think of the list, it's got gold medal, World Sailor of the Year, America's Cup, Sail GP, World Champ, National Champ. So his list is quite, average for all of us. But
so the good news is, I've done some research. You guys would know about Mackay Diva bronze statue,
of course.
Yep. Yes, absolutely.
Well, I've been in touch with the sculptor,
okay,
Martin, who's a Port Lincoln artist, and he's willing to do it. And he'll do it for the same price that he did the Mackay Diva one for, if we can.
Wow.
Plus
good
transportation to Sydney.
Oh, I love it. Hashtag time for a statue, hey?
Hashtag
it's not unknown.
Slingers statue.
The pricing is well known, and it was sponsored by one fishing family in Port Lincoln.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if our pockets are that deep.
No, that's exactly right. That's why I laughed. Yeah. Yes.
Very good.
Cool.
Right.
Boys, I sent you one.
We'll announce the one for the month next week, right?
Yep, that's it. We'll have to have a bit of debate on that one. There's been plenty coming in. Yep. Speaking of that, just some of the interesting things. I sent you a little video excerpt this week from Letterkenny, season 12. Our friends at Letterkenny, season 12.
Oh, I loved it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Friends of the show.
There's always a dick on a boat. That was just hilarious.
Yes, very funny.
Cool.
Dear. I'm not sure if we're allowed to publish it. We get in trouble sometimes for the stuff we put up on our socials, so apologies if we're upsetting your sensibilities, but I think most people have got used to what we are now. So, but yeah, it's a great one. So we're massive fans of Letterkenny, and they came up. They put one on specially for us, which we appreciate. Cool.
It's hot time with Bice.
Well, it's straight to the TRB website for this week.
Oh yeah.
Doing a little rundown. We'll talk about it when we start doing our live crosses,
Yep.
of which we'll discuss that in a second.
Yeah.
But basically, we all know what time of year it is. And it's time to maybe just have a little look-ski at what we're dealing with from a betting point of view. By the way, bet responsibly. And it's nothing that we condone in any manner. But I'm just having a little look-ski here, boys. We've got three books open. One is the overall winner, Line Honours. 2 is handicap. ORC 3 is out their heads. So I'm just going to run through them a little bit for us and probably not unimaginable, but line honours, Ando Comanche at $1.50, Law Connect 375, Scallywag $8.
I'm gonna,
and then Warrow sitting in at 15.
Yeah, I'm gonna shorten Scallywag.
Any thoughts there?
Yeah.
Gonna shorten Scallywag.
Could be sticky for Comanche. If
I'm gonna shorten Scallywag into 150 and extend Comanche out to 350.
He is the savant.
Comanche's at 350. I'll put some money on that for sure, but not much. Only $1.20 maybe.
What could you spend that money on? That's right.
But basically, and I wouldn't take anything away from Law Connect either.
No. I'm just looking at the conditions. We've discussed this. We do slip into a bit of experience mode here, and I'm looking at the weather. I'm not looking terrible. It's not looking favourable for the big bellied girls. But
the white boats.
The thin boats are going to be good.
Yeah. But the minute you powered up, you're doing about 8 knots quicker than anyone else. So
thin boat. My favourite song doesn't get a play this year.
Yeah,
I like big butts and
Fat
I
bottom girls.
Oh.
Might have to take that bit out. All right. So next we're looking IRC boys. Haro sitting at 550. URM, bit of a crowd favourite, 650 alongside Celestial, last year's winner, second reading into that.
Love the way you do
this. Then Alive coming in at 750.
Love the way you do this.
Not bad.
It's just like going to the races, mate.
It's like Johnny Tapp. Oh, poor Johnny Tapp's blown up down there at Rose Hill.
Looks like he's
shit, I forgot to take a breath. You should wait till I start calling it. And then we got it like the Whispers, the Money Penny teasing machine, all friends of the show. Kind of sitting around the $12-13 mark.
We're sort of putting ourselves out there. I'm liking Scallywag for the over line, and I'm thinking the 60s are looking good. I'm thinking Alive, URM, that sort of range. Let's start tinkling away there, I think.
Yeah, well, I'm going to save my predictions until
the show.
Maybe our first live cross once we get some final weather in.
Yeah.
But it's probably worth 85 cents on URM, I'd think, at 650.
Good solid 85 at 650.
Yeah. And then first out of the heads here, do you lay it all online from day one?
Yeah.
Is this what it's all about?
Azzuro.
Law Connect, they were as Big Tone mentioned to us last week, like that first half an hour or that bit of that's pretty much pays for the whole campaign for them.
Yep.
So they absolute hammer down to get first out of the head at 275. Not bad. We got Ando Comanche 205, Law Connect 275, Scallywag $5. So the outside of this for me, Scallywag.
Looking at the weather, it could highly likely to be a light nor'easter. on the breeze. So
another long thin
again, a little Scallywag probably is a little sneak in there.
Yeah.
A little bit more manoeuvrable.
Unless
a little bit sort of,
unless the skipper takes it through the spectator fleet as he is wont to do.
Yes,
that's right.
Just be careful.
And saying all that, gentlemen, just know when to stop. Don't go over the top. Gamble responsibly.
What could you spend that money on?
Okay, for the listeners, we haven't actually worked anything out. We're going to do live streams if we've done. Last couple of years we've done on Facebook. I had a look last night, boys. We might do it on the YouTube because not everyone's on Facebook. So we can go YouTube live. So Barkarati page on YouTube and we'll go live.
Why not?
What's our first one going to be? What time? A couple of hours after the start?
Got to be, a couple of hours after the start, I reckon.
Yeah.
Probably have half a skinful. Should be good, entertaining.
Yeah.
So we'll get it out on all the socials, right?
Yeah.
And we'll talk East Coast time.
Yeah. So East Coast Sydney time is it's a 1 o'clock start.
It'll be about 3 o'clock.
About 3 o'clock Sydney time is what we're thinking.
Yeah.
And then we'll do two each day afterwards.
Yeah.
Morning and evening.
Early, not early morning, but kind of morning-ish.
While you're having your breakfast.
And then later in the evening, so you can check it all out.
So that'll be good. That'll be good. Yeah, cool. So we're into the Hobart. We're going to chase it down. It'll be a ton of fun. What else you got, boss?
No, that's it this week. I've got nothing else. We're concentrating full noise on the second greatest race behind the Teakle Port Lincoln, Adelaide Port Lincoln yacht race. So, but it's all about Boxing Day, boys.
Yes, it
Get
is.
excited.
I do want to mention one thing that came through, because one thing we've said on the show heaps is that we never actually track any of the data to find out how we rate.
Yes.
We did. We got the yearly summary from one of the streaming organisations that puts us out there. And there's a couple of things I thought people would be interested in. Barkarati is in the top 5% of all podcasts in the world, basically, which is pretty cool.
I've actually narrowed it down a little bit more based on the numbers.
Yeah.
5% kicks in at a certain number, and then the top 1% kicks in another. And we sit basically right in the middle of that. So we're
top 3%.
probably in the 2 or 3%
of the
which
world.
Is pretty
we go to over 130 countries, and we did 48 episodes this year. I thought we did about 50, but anyway, so Barkarati's going all right.
Massive,
So
massive in Kenya. We're huge in Kenya.
But we appreciate everyone listening, and I just wanted to reach out and say that because the show is existing to sort of grow sailing, but it's also about the audience. It's always about the audience, and we love the fact that you guys are so cool. More than happy for you to reach out at cheers@barkarati.com and go from there, which is cool. Just before we sign off, just letting everyone know the Taser Worlds start 2nd of January through to the 9th of January. They'll be at Sandringham Yacht Club, which is a beautiful yacht club in Victoria. So go down and have a bit of a look at that. The World ILCA 6 Championships for what we know as the lasers, for the laser radials, for the old-fashioned people amongst us. 3rd of January to the 10th of January, the Women's World Champs. So that's in Argentina, in Mar de Plata. And then the youth and men's will follow on straight after that, I think, from memory. So it goes on from that. And then, of course, the ILCA 7s, end of January in Radelaide. We'll have to get a bit fired up. We'll get fired up about it.
Lads.
We'll do a full national rundown and world rundown next week.
But at Radelaide, at a club we've all sailed out of a million times. So, yeah.
Adelaide Sailing Club.
Yeah. So happy days. But yeah, I think that's it, boys. Anything else you guys want to bring up at all?
No, that's it. Big week.
Shut down.
Merry Christmas and to everyone.
Yeah, I forgot about that bit.
There's Christmas in between now and when we speak to each other. So have a great day with everyone and stay safe.
I love it.
Here.
Yeah.
See you, boys.
Cool. All right. Thanks for listening, everyone. Again, we really appreciate it. And remember, head to Radix Nutrition if you want to get yourself some of the Radix that most of all the top crews in the Sydney Hobart are loading their boats up with right now. 10% discount if you use the Barkarati name in the discount line. Go in peace. Have a great Christmas, everyone. Again, lots of love.
Speaking of nutrition, BT, you're heading down to Palace. Absolutely. We're super cold there today. 4 o'clock. All right. Nice, boys.